So why is market research so vital and so important? It can come down to the reasons for having informed decisions. You're not just making decisions based upon opinions, you're not just making decisions based upon the gut, you're making decisions based upon data. And those decisions can be based on these questions. Number one, is there actually a market for what I'm trying to do? Or am I just setting something up which no one really cares about? In the picture here, we've got a market stall called the Frenchie, and they make French style burgers, which is kind of a misnomer because, well, burgers are an American thing really, but these are a French style burger. And it's a way of making some great burgers, some great French fries, and some great fast foods in a gourmet way, in a small batch way in a market stall. Then asking the question, is there a market for it? Is there a market for that gourmet burger? Well, given the rise of so many gourmet burger places, I'd say yes, there is definitely a market for the gourmet burger. Then we ask, is there money to be made? It might be the market that people are willing to, pay a lot for these particular burgers, but are they willing to pay you a lot for those particular burgers? Or are they just simply, wanting something like that for free? Are they thinking that, excuse me, oh, got the sneezes today. Are they thinking just simply that they want to get something for McDonald's price, but gourmet quality? And then asking the question that if there is money to be made and there is a market for it, is that market big enough to be able to support me, my family, my friends, whoever I want to bring in, my employees, my contractors? Is it going to be able to support itself? Is there enough people who are willing to pay this money and who are interested in this product to support it on an ongoing basis? I think every market stall holder and every business owner has had to ask this question at some point. So data from research helps you to make an informed decision about if there is a market for it, if there's money to be made, and how big that market might just happen to be. Another question you might want to ask is this fulfilling my customers' needs? Is anyone actually asking for this problem to be solved right now? My first business back in, 2010 would have been the first attempt I had at making a business that really just crashed and burned. Was a very quick, very cheap agency for making videos for television ads. Now I thought, yes, sure, there's going to be plenty of market for that. There's going to be plenty of ability for people to be able to see this. There's going to be, thanks Sharon for blessing me on that sneeze earlier on. And whether there is, there was enough people who were willing to do that. Now, as it turned out, there was lots of people who wanted to get that cheap service. But the problem was that the service was so cheap that it wasn't enough to support me. Now, I had done some research first and seen what everyone else is charging. I would have seen that there was a pattern of what people are charging. And the reason why no one was charging what I was charging was because it's unsustainable. But then looking at your customer's need, it's going to say, well, is anyone actually looking for this problem to be solved? Or am I just making up a market and thinking, well, I think that people might want this, but we don't know for sure. We ask, does it actually help them? Does it help them solve a problem in their lives? Do they actually want it? Like, are they going to do this at all? Or will they even pay for it? All these things are things you can answer with a bit of market research. And I've got the tools coming up, which will help you to answer some of these questions as well. Thirdly, we'll also look at whether this is something which is going to make it in a competitive environment. Have you got competitors? Can you match your competitors? Are they stronger than you? Are they more established than you? Are they more able to do certain things? Where are they stronger? But also, where are they weaker? You, as a new player in any sort of market, might have some areas where you are weaker as well. This is part of the general startup methodology you go through with what they call the Harvard Business Strategize, or the business model canvas. It does what is called a SWOT test, a strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats test. That is a form of research as well. Market research, absolutely, it's that as well. If you're looking at what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, what the opportunities are out there in the marketplace. So you've had to research that material, and also what the threats are against you in that marketplace. That is market research. So it's very basic, it can be. But then you can do the same kind of SWOT analysis, the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats on your competitors, others who are doing the same thing as you in your marketplace. So you can ask that, how are they able to match you? Where are they strong? Where are they weak? Not just where you are strong, where you're weak. And also, what are the opportunities that they have that they may not have seen yet that you can sort of dive in and take those opportunities before they're able to? Remember, just because they're more established than you doesn't mean they're able to take care of those or take advantage of those opportunities when they do pop up. Now, the opportunities, we've been talking lots about them. Market research lets you look at where the gaps are in a marketplace. So if you do enough research about who's doing what and how they're serving in that marketplace, you might go, you know what? Nobody's serving this particular demographic or this particular group of people or in this particular area with this particular product. Then there's a chance for me to do that. It also gives you an opportunity for what are the other things that people need. So for instance, you've got a lawn mowing business. Maybe people need gardening as well. Or maybe they don't just need gardening. They may need, other areas like handyman services or, general property maintenance services. And that's a new growth area that you might be able to consider. If you've already got 30 people on your lawn mowing roster, then a little bit of research into whether they actually do need general maintenance like plumbing and all that, you can also introduce that, or at least connect with other plumbers or electricians that do it for a fee. You can actually collect a spotter's fee for that if you make that arrangement with enough people. And it allows you to have a new growth area for your business. But you wouldn't know this unless you actually ask some questions and do a little bit of market research. What market research can do, and this is a little bit disturbing sometimes because you might think you've got a goal and you've got a dream and you want to go all the way to that dream. But the problem is that life tends to happen in amongst the best of our dreams. And sometimes the data that comes back or the opinions or the research that comes back will tell us that maybe we need to reset our goals. Maybe we need to look at those goals and those dreams and just put them into a bit of reality according to the market research we've done. Market research gives data to your goals. Remember that if you don't, if you have a goal without data, it's just a dream, really. It's not really anything realistic. It allows you to give some sort of sanity check to what your goals are. So if you're saying, I want to and have 100,000 customers by December 2022, this kind of market research may tell you that it's not likely to happen because of various reasons. In fact, it's so unlikely to happen that it is impossible. So you might say, oh, but I've got a dream, anything's possible. The reality is there's not 100,000 people out there who need what it is you do. So therefore, it's a sanity check against what we sometimes get carried away with in these dreaming and vision sessions and vision boards where we go, okay, they're really good for helping us focus on what we want, but they're not very good at making sure those things are either realistic. I think I saw a meme come up on the internet a couple of weeks ago, which was Santa Claus and a little boy sitting on his knee, and Santa says, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I want a dragon. And then Santa said, "Well, how about asking for something a bit more, something a bit more realistic? Well, how about my business making enough money to support myself within a year?" And then Santa replies with, "What color dragon would you like?" Because it's not one of those things that's necessarily realistic that are going to be supporting you within a year. It also removes the guesswork, the things where you've just had to sit down, work out your business plan and go, you know what? I don't know the answer to this, so I'm just going to put something in. When you do your market research, you're able to remove that guesswork and move towards your goal more confidently because you've got some real information behind you to move with.